There are 5 people in this video who all had one thing in common. They each had a moment, just one quiet, ordinary moment where something felt off. A sound that didn't belong. A shadow that moved wrong. These are 5 true stories, and I have to warn you, the last one is going to stay with you. October 2019, Millbrook Heights, Ohio. Carla Dennings moved into an old apartment complex on the west side of town. Carla was a night shift nurse at the county hospital. She was used to the world being awake when the rest of the world was dead silent. She was a rational person. She didn't believe in ghost stories. But 3 weeks in, she noticed the pulse. Every night, between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m., the light in the vacant unit across the courtyard, apartment 4B, would turn on and off in a slow, rhythmic pattern. One night, the pulsing stopped. Carla looked out her window and saw a woman standing perfectly still in the window of 4B, staring directly at her. Carla called the building manager, Dennis, who insisted the room was empty for months. When police finally entered, they found a single folding chair and a burner phone on the windowsill. But then an officer noticed a sweet, heavy scent. He pulled back the carpet and found the floorboards had been cut away. Hidden in the crawl space was the body of a young woman. The investigation. Police identified 2 suspects. Dennis, the manager, he had the keys and insisted the room was empty. And the observer. Technicians found a notebook near the body. It contained logs of Carla's life, her nursing shift times, her bus route, and the fact that she sat in the 3rd seat from the back. The case remains a chilling cold case. In February 2021, a college student named Marcus Webb was taking the last train of the night back to campus. The car was empty except for one man sitting 3 rows ahead, a man named Roy. Roy eventually sat across the aisle from Marcus. He didn't look at him. He just whispered, "You should really check if the emergency brake in this car actually works." He told Marcus that people trust machines too much, and that's how things happen. As Roy got off at a remote, unlit stop, he turned back and said, "Don't get off at your usual stop tonight. Someone is waiting for the 43 bus." Marcus stayed on the train until the final station. He later learned that Roy was Roy Caslin, a convicted felon recently released after serving 12 years for an abduction on that exact rail line. When police checked Marcus's usual station, they found a car idling in the shadows of the bus stop until 2:47 a.m. Roy hadn't been the threat. He was the warning. Donna and Phil Hartwell adopted a rescue beagle named Biscuit in 2020. He was the perfect dog, except for one thing. Every night at exactly 12:30 a.m., he would stand at the hallway window and stare into the dark backyard, motionless, silent. Phil set up a motion camera. On the 3rd night, it captured a person standing under the oak tree at 12:28 a.m., staring back at the house. Detective Rachel Okafa discovered that the previous owners had a stalker named Tyler Mead. The rescue dog they found on the highway actually belonged to Tyler. He had been coming to the fence line every night to see who was living in the house since the dog left. When a 17-year-old Lily Crane vanished in Montana, the investigation led to a local handyman named Dennis Fell. Detective Howard Price brought Dennis in for an interview. Dennis was polite, calm, and cooperative, but Price noticed one detail that made his blood run cold. Throughout the entire interview, Dennis expressed concern, but he never asked the one question an innocent person always asks. "Did you find her?" Price searched Fell's property and found Lily alive in a storm cellar. She had been underground for 9 days. Her first words were, "Help me." Dennis was sentenced to 45 years. He never gave a motive. He simply chose her. On March 14, 2022, a patrol officer found an empty car with the engine running in the Mercer Inn's parking lot. Inside, he found Sandra Voss dead in room 9. The door was bolted from the inside, and there was no sign of an intruder. Security footage from the hallway showed a woman in a trench coat walking slowly past room 9 at 3:09 a.m., 4 minutes after the estimated time of death. But the motel's camera system had a documented 6-minute lag. The woman seen walking past the room was actually recorded minutes earlier. She didn't walk past, she reached the door at exactly 3:05 a.m. The camera missed the murder because it couldn't keep up with the killer. The woman in the trench coat was never identified. 5 stories, 5 moments where ordinary people stepped into something they couldn't explain. What all of these cases have in common is the moment just before. The moment where they considered, just briefly, whether they were overreacting. They weren't. So the next time something feels off, listen. Stay safe out there.